Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 112 of Psycho's Platters. Yeah, guys, I'm back in the room. The reason why I'm back in here, we're still moving things around in the living room. It's driving me nuts, and it looks a little bit even messier than I would expect it to. Wish it was sponsored by Krispy Kreme, but it's not. Listen, today is what is it? Talk like a pirate day over there. Arg, BT. Yeah, I guess you could get yourself a free donut if you talk like a pirate, and a free dozen if you dress up like one. I wonder how much you get if you get dressed up as a pirate wench. Yeah, all right. Okay. So listen, guys. I hope everybody has had themselves a great week or two of crate digging. I'm slightly a little bit back on this broadcast. I've been busy. I've had people ask me updates on my father. Here's the thing. I did get some medical answers, but some still are not. It could get complicated. That's what I'm told. I'm not going to know for about another week or two what we're looking at, guys. So, but thank you. Seriously, I thank you, BC, the ones that have been responding on that. All right. So let me go off and throw this story out to you here. This is going to be a multiple part episode. This kind of has to be. Over at this independent thrift store that I attend at least once to twice a week. Okay, I told you about the circuit in one of my past episodes. I go off and this place that I go to generously, when they do have records, quarter a piece. I love those kind of places. Believe it or not, almost all the other ones are a buck a piece in the circuit. This joint here, it's always a quarter, and I'm happy about that. So needless to say, my buddy Doug Fields, he always has more time on his hands than I do. I'm not being insulting. It's the truth. He's got more time on his hands than I do. So he tells me, because I show up there, and he's there too. Go figure, right? Just before opening, he says, yeah, guess what? You should have been here yesterday. They ended up getting hundreds and hundreds of albums. I'm like, holy crap, right? Now his tastes and my tastes are similar, but some of his tastes and my tastes are different, and that's what makes our friendship kind of fun, really, is because we just find different things and we share different things. It's musically, it's beautiful. So I will have to confess, out of the let's see, when I got there still was a couple hundred albums, I'd say, but only realistically about 25 did I end up taking out of there. There would have been more, but some of the condition on some of them were just god awful. I mean, I could have grabbed like every early 70s pop album, teeny bop type stuff for that time. All right, so let's get on with some of this here. Starting off here from 1979, Gary Wright. I do like Gary Wright. Of course, he started off with Spooky Tooth, ended up in his brief, short-lived band called Wonder Wheel, which would end up having Mick Jones, who guitar player later on at Foreigner. This particular album here from 1979. I can't wait to listen to it. It kind of sounds interesting to me. You got David Crosby and Graham Nash, of course, from Crosby, Stills, and Nash on here. You've got Steve Lukather and Jeff Porcaro from Toto, they're on here. And lastly, Alan White from Yes. Everybody gets involved in Heading Home. This is front, this is back, this is on the beige Warner Brothers. Next one here from 1986, John Parr, Mr. Naughty Naughty. Remember him? This is the front, this is the back, this is on Atlantic. I have to tell you something. I tried digging up facts on this particular album, and the inner sleeve here is done in calligraphy. It drove me nuts. I can't read calligraphy. I can't. Not when it's that small. So hopefully that might be decent. From 1981 on Columbia, Silver Condor. Silver Condor, this first album had Earl Slick on it. Earl Slick was a session guitar player. I know he associated himself with David Bowie and a few other ones. This is the front. This is the back. Silver Condor ended up doing 2 albums, and the only one that actually stuck around through both of them was the lead singer, Joe Serrano. The second album, which I'm curious, and I'm going to have to try to find, they pretty much changed the damn lineup. In the second album, you've got Kenny Aronson, who, of course, is a super bass player. I mean, and guitar player. He's been on a lot of different records. But also, if I remember correctly, super groups like HSAS with Hagar, and also Steve Plunkett is on guitar on the second album, and he would end up being lead singer in Autograph in 1984, if I remember correctly on that. I've always seen this album, but I've always passed it up. But for a quarter, I'll take a stab at it. It's a little disturbing, isn't it? But it's Debbie Harry, her first solo album, Cuckoo. The particular image here was produced by, I hope I'm going to get this right, H.R. Geiger. If that name doesn't sound familiar to you, that's okay. But if it does, you're going to know that Geiger's work was previously done in the rock circuit for Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery. So, like I said, this is the front, this is the back, this is on Chrysalis. Pretty much who's on here is Debbie Harry and Chris Stein from Blondie, and pretty much all of, except for all of, the female members, but the rest is Chic. Okay, that kind of makes things a little bit interesting. I know at one point or another I've heard something off of here. I don't remember what the lead single off of this Cuckoo was, but like I said, Nile Rodgers, Bernard Edwards, Tony Thompson from Chic, all on there. From 1984, Lindsey Buckingham's Go Insane. I can't remember if I actually had this or not. This is the front, this is the back, this is on Elektra. Lindsey pretty much for this album did about 90% of all the instrument work. I think there's like one song that he didn't touch, but that he wasn't involved completely in. I still like Go Insane. That's a really cool track. Lindsey can come up with it. I still like Law and Order, but this one here I'm curious about. This one, I've actually seen this high dollar in record stores and online, and I don't know why. Moving Pictures from 1982 on Network Records. This is the first album. They did a couple albums. They're from Australia. The big hit for them was the tearjerker What About Me? If you remember it on MTV in '82, yeah, they played the hell out of that thing. I couldn't hear it for a while. Now I can hear it once in a while. This is the front. This is the back. Like I said, they're originally out of Australia, but this was the only thing that they'd be known for here in the States anyway. Remember I told you about teeny bopper stuff that pretty much got ruined? Well, I was able to salvage this. This is the Partridge Family notebook, okay? And as we all know here, at least in this music lingo, no, the whole Partridge Family doesn't play on here. Realistically, it's David Cassidy and Shirley Jones. They're the ones that are pretty much involved, but you do happen to have the Wrecking Crew is pretty much on here. I know some people hate that name, some people don't, but you pretty much have your crack session team from California all over this thing, and the other Partridge Family ones. This is kind of cool. These actually have the 3 punch holes. Now, if I remember correctly, I have seen other pressings that don't have the actual punch holes, but they have a picture of it looks like a 3 punch hole. This is actually in really decent shape on Bell. You see these around, you just don't see them in decent shape. That's the problem. They're always screwed up. Here's the last rock one I'm going to have here for you that I've never seen this before. I've got Jigsaw's Jigsaw. Now this is from 1977. I love Sky High. This is the front, this is the back. Go figure, though, with Jigsaw's history, I found out. They actually got started in 1966 in Coventry, England. Some of the members actually were in other English bands like the Mighty Avengers, Pinkerton's Assorted Colors, and the Fortunes. The thing I did not know about this is that Sky High actually was put out in 1975 as a theme song for the movie Man from Hong Kong. never heard of it, but it stars George Lazenby. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, great. If it doesn't, George Lazenby was a Bond. Yes, he was James Bond in the movie for Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1969, which I saw it. It was all right. I thought it was okay for a Bond film. I personally am. Okay. Look, let me put it to you this way. After A View to a Kill, Roger Moore's last one in '85, I stopped going. I have not watched a James Bond movie since because I don't care for Pierce Brosnan and everybody else. Sorry, that's just how it is. Lastly, I grabbed these up, different source. Barbara Fairchild. This is late '70s. Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Mid to late '70s country. Okay. Fronts, backs, and the reason why I grabbed them is because Barbara Fairchild does a dinner theater at the Golden Corral in Branson, Missouri. It is the only Golden Corral that has a dinner theater in the United States. I thought that was kind of cool. She lives in Branson, and that's the first time I've ever found those albums, and I'm planning on trying to go there for an afternoon. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, and try to get them signed, and maybe get an interview. I don't know. I keep telling you guys I'm trying to do this, but life happens, Things happen. I try to do this channel for you guys, okay? Because I love you guys, and what do I say? Psycho, mighty Psycho, as a certain other person said, tries to keep you guys educated and entertained and informed, and that's how this works. All right, guys. I have a few new subscribers. I want to personally thank Ricky McCurdy, My Vinyl Bar, Cape Rayer 23, and King Crawley for subscribing to the channel within the last 2 weeks. Thank you very, very much, guys. You will not be sorry. Like I said, I do try to keep things up. You know what I'm saying? Up and entertaining. A few channels I want to tell you guys about: D Washington 607, Damn It Sandy, Katie Wawa. Those are the vinyl ones I want you to go take a look at. Okay, there's some of my VC friends, but there's some other ones I want to put in here for you too. Indie Chauffeur, INDY Chauffeur. Okay, if you like radio jingles, air checks, go see this. You're going to enjoy this. There's hours of stuff. TV stuff. From my neck of the woods, they have a website, Museum of Classic Chicago Television. That's on YouTube, but on internet, www.fuzzymemories.tv. You'll get a kick out of it. You'll get, once again, hours and hours of that. And lastly, a very cool YouTube site that has cropped up in the last 2 months, I'd say. Revolver Records and Video. If you're a Beatles fan, if you're a John Lennon fan, if you're a 60s rock fan, or 70s even, you're going to love this channel. Go subscribe to them. You will not be sorry. I'm telling you that right now. Your regular shoutouts: Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge with Mike Adams. Sunday nights, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Standard and 9 to 10 Central Standard. Go like them on Facebook, please, right now. Thrifty Music Collectors Group, Tim Smith and Company. I love you guys. I miss you guys up north. It's something else. Shindig, the best damn English rock magazine, period, on the planet, at least in this guy's opinion, okay? And lastly, YouTube vinyl community. Without you, obviously me and everyone else couldn't be doing our videos, right? All right. Just listen. Take care. God bless. Rock on. See you next episode. And I wholly mean that.